Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I wanted to talk to you about the all-new Chair Aero Highback from Helinox. This thing's really cool, and I've had a couple Helinox products over the years, a couple for multiple years, and I'm actually sitting in one right now, the older Helinox Tactical chair. Love this chair. I've used it across many different states on many different overlanding, dispersed camping trips, and still holds up great. It's like a new chair, and I love it. But I'm going to show you, this thing is actually significantly smaller than the tactical chair that I've got, and still just as comfortable and pretty much sets up to be just about the same size. So again, I wanted to walk you through this chair today. If you're looking for a really high quality, meant to last chair that's going to last for years and years, this Chair Aero Highback from Helinox may be a great option for you. So we're going to talk more about this in this video.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, I got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me.
All right, guys, so as I mentioned in the intro today, I'm talking about this Chair Aero Highback from Helinox. Again, I've got a few of their products and I'll show you. I've got a table, Helinox tactical table sitting next to me. I'm sitting in the Highback tactical chair, and I love these pieces of gear. They're extremely well made. They've lasted for years with no negative repercussions, no ripping, no burn holes in them. They just last, right? And I've had a bunch of the cheap knockoffs too, and they get wobbly or things break or you lose a foot off of it or you get a burn hole in the chair. I just don't get those same problems with these Helinox. So I wanted to show you this chair today, but I wanted to also show you something else. And again, I'm sitting in the chair, so this is just the bag. But so this is my bag for my Helinox tactical chair. What I want to point out though is if you hold these up side by side, these are basically the same chair, but look at how much smaller they got this chair than the tactical one that I'm sitting in. So that was the first thing that impressed me, was just the smaller footprint. Also feels extremely light, and I'll throw the weight up here on the screen so you know how much this thing weighs. If you're a backpacker or something like that, that's where this kind of, to me, feels like a super comfy, extremely nice option for someone that wants to carry a comfortable chair that doesn't take up a ton of room in their pack and is also extremely light. So now let's open this thing up and take the chair out, and I'm going to show you it. I'm going to set it up and everything. I'm going to show you everything in action. So you pop this out of the bag. It does not have the zippers on it, which probably saves some weight from the tactical. It's just sort of a bag with a pull string on the end of it. Then, like most Helinox chairs, you've got your material basically wrapped around your legs. And one thing that strikes me immediately about this is from the design of it, the color, all that stuff. This reminds me a lot of the Cot Max, which I did a video on. I'll put a card up here to that if you want to check that out. But another extremely small, extremely light option from them, but in Cot form. So it seems that they've taken a lot of that same R&D, that same patented technology that they've used to make these things lighter and stronger and more resistant over time. They've applied that to this chair. So super impressed with that. But so let's go over here and let's set this thing up really quick, and I'll show you how easy it is to put this thing together. All right, so just for reference, this is my tactical Highback Helinox chair. Again, a little bit heavier material. That is another thing that I'm noticing, is that this is super, super lightweight. Which again, if weight is your concern and size is your concern, this may be a better option than the tactical chair for you. If you want something that's, a little bit tougher and more resilient, the tactical chair may be a better option too. I'll put links to both in the description below. But again, if you're looking for minimal size and minimal weight, this is a good option for sure, because this thing is significantly lighter weight and smaller than the other chair. But I'm gonna set this one up next to it so you can kind of see a size comparison here between the Aero and the tactical. So one thing is that on the tactical, this is all fixed, so this does not rotate at all. So I think that in an effort to save weight, they do allow this one to rotate. So, but you can see where they're getting the weight savings from, right? This thing is a little bit lower than the tactical chair. The material is a little bit lighter, thinner material than the tactical chair. It's gonna sit a little bit lower than the tactical chair. And so especially if you have, kids, or again, if you're a backpacker and you're literally just trying to shave as much weight as possible off your setup and as much size as possible, I think this one will be better for you than the tactical chair. But if you are looking for max comfort and max reliability and longevity, I would probably choose the tactical chair for like overlanding applications, because I have room, that little bit of extra room in my drawer system where I can keep it, and I like to be a little bit higher off the ground. But let's check this thing out It will hold up to 265 pounds, which is impressive, but I do like that it has the high back. I'm about 235, so I'm about 6'2", 235. It holds me just fine. It's super comfortable. You can kind of lean back in it and you can feel it supporting your weight and holding you. But so this is the Aero chair, and then this here is the Tactical chair. So the Tactical chair I think has a little bit wider seating position and maybe a little bit more leaned back position. This one's a little bit more upright and a little bit more narrow. So again, it just depends. If you're a bigger guy or girl, the Tactical chair may be a better option for you. But if you are okay, or if you're smaller, or if you want something for your kids and stuff, then the Aero may be a good one because it's so light and it takes up so little room. So anyways, these are the two options. Now you can kind of see them side by side. I wanted to show you both. They come in at around the same price. I think the Tactical chair may be a couple bucks more, maybe 20 bucks more or something like that. But again, for overlanding type use, I would probably choose the Tactical chair just because I really like it. I like the height of it. I like the makeup of it. I like how sturdy it is. And again, just being taller and having a little bit more comfortable, wider footprint. But this thing is plenty comfortable too. I mean, even at my height and size here, I'm super comfortable. And if you like to be lower to the ground, maybe the Aero is a better option for you as well. But again, just wanted to share these with you. So I'll get out so you can see it. As you can see, the design is extremely similar. Helinox has pretty much perfected this, right? They have been making these chairs for years. There are a ton of knockoffs, but again, the quality of the knockoffs is far inferior to the Helinox stuff. So does the Helinox stuff cost significantly more than the knockoffs? Yes. But this thing, believe it or not, is probably 2 years old and has been used probably 50 nights for hours and hours at a time. And aside from some dirt marks on it and stuff from rolling up the dirty feet in it, you can't really tell that there's any wear and tear to this chair at all. It's holding up extremely well. I assume, based on the Helinox brand, that this one will do the same, but I just got this chair, so the Aero is a newer one. But so those are the pros and cons, again, between the Tactical chair versus the Aero. Hope that was helpful for you. All right, guys, so as you saw, that was the Helinox Chair Zero. I was calling it Aero the whole time for some reason, so just ignore me, right? Sometimes I can't read. But the Chair Zero is a really nice option, again, if you are looking for something extremely lightweight that's really small footprint. If you don't have a ton of room in your gear for something like a chair, that may be a good option. Again, if you are more of like an overlander and you plan to spend a lot of time sitting in a chair at camp at night, if you get to camp around dinner time and you're going to sit there till 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, I'd probably go with the Tactical if it was me. If you have kids and you have to carry 2 or 3 or 4 chairs, depending on how many kids you have, the Zero might be a good option because they're way smaller and way lighter, so you can pack more of those into your setup than you could with the Tacticals. But again, it's pros and cons, right? So just wanted to share that information with you. I hope that that was helpful on the Zero. Again, I will put links to the Tactical and the Zero down below, as well as their table, which is also awesome. I use it every single trip. It's super small and folds out to be extremely usable and fits perfectly next to either one of these chairs. So if it was helpful, click that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple every week, usually like a gear video like this, and then sort of a podcast or a do-it-yourself modification type video. So anything to do with vehicular travel, overlanding, camping, outdoor gear, that kind of thing, this may be a good channel for you, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Also below this video is a join button. So if you want to support the channel in a passive way, it gets you early access to the podcast, to the videos. So it has some pretty cool perks to it, but it's just like a nice passive way to support the channel and enjoy the content more, but no pressure. There's also a link to my Patreon page, which is awesome. There's a 24/7 Discord where we all chat. We do a once-a-month Zoom call, and then we're going to do a couple trips every year. So again, if you want a more active way to be involved with all things overlanding, that may be the best option for you. There's also a link down below to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers, things like don't burn your wiener and it's a hot dog, or I hate people so I camp. So if you're into any of that stuff and you want some patches for your headliner or some stickers for your fridge or your windows, check those out. And then last but not least, there's the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group, totally free to join, awesome group of people. If you're newer and you want to ask questions, or if you're experienced and you're tired of the bigger groups where people bully each other, that may be a good place for you to come and help out some newbies. So we'd love to have you. Again, thanks so much for watching. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.